Hello, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the music. Once again, this is Fred Nwankwo coming to you from our studios in Chicago with another edition of Bold Talk on LNTV. And as usual, I want to say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are around the world. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu just completed his first week in office. You be the judge. Do you think with the robust campaign everybody had, regardless of which candidate, do you think that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu hit the ground running? Do you think President Bola Ahmed Tinubu came prepared to be president of Nigeria? Or do you think President Bola Ahmed Tinubu thinks that Nigeria is Lagos? They call him city boy. And he thinks this is a city boy type of business. That's what I'm thinking, because it's been a lot of demonstration of razzle dazzle and coming out and talking very presidential, but actually talking loud and saying nothing. And let me show you what I mean. It's not about bashing President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. It's about constructively critiquing him. And hopefully somebody is telling him that there's this idiot in Chicago that keeps critiquing him. It's fine with me. If he gets something out of it, just my little, maybe he could add it to his genius and we could build our country for everybody. It's not his country, it's my country too. But let me show you his meeting with the security chiefs in Nigeria. And then I'll tell you what I think about that meeting specifically. That will be my starting point. This next segment, the credit goes to Channels Television Nigeria for the photo you're going to see initially. It's the photo of the service chiefs and some of the officials from Tinubu's administration. And the other segment that will follow in video, the credit goes to Arise TV News Nigeria. With the credits out of the way, when I watch what's going on and the discussions going on, I can't help but think about Professor Awojobi of University of Lagos in 1975. May his soul rest in peace. When General Gowon's administration was overthrown and he was I think he was Face the Nation late at night talking about the overthrow, he said, "May Nigeria never see this amount of tomfoolery again." And all I want to say is, under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, may Nigeria not witness the kind of tomfoolery we witnessed under President Buhari. And for the President Tinubu people who are going to come after me for talking about their Lord, I'm sorry. What I just said is advice and caution to him. It's not a criticism. But I'll be coming with some criticism after I play you the video from Arise TV. Just hold on. Okay, now, guys, so I'm sure many of you watched security briefings and press conferences leading up to the gubernatorial elections. That was the biggest shame we've ever seen in elections in the last few years. And you heard what those security chiefs said. I'm bringing you this video from Arise TV so you could listen to them make similar statements with a lot of macho and muscle about what they are going to do. And the president telling them to go and put together a blueprint. You're telling the armed robber to go and put together a blueprint on how you're going to protect armed robbers from robbing the bank.
With Boko Haram insurgency in the northeast, banditry in the northwest and north-central regions, secessionist agitation in the southeast, and oil theft in the Niger Delta, President Bola Tinubu faces a daunting task of ensuring the safety and security of Nigerians.
We shall defend the nation from terror and all forms of criminality that threaten the peace and stability of our country.
On his first day.
That actually sounded very presidential, but Bola Ahmed Tinubu's problem has never been with making the right sound bites. In Lagos or in Yoruba land, they say it's what he does to you is boju boju. You know, he closes your eyes and paints this beautiful picture, and when you open your eyes, what you find is your own headache. Now, he said the right things there. And leading up to his soundbite, the Arise TV news reporter was actually commenting based on what President Bola Ahmed Tinubu said in a different video, which is to bring crime and terrorism under control in the Niger Delta, in the northeast, in the northwest, and in the southeast. Perfect. No argument with that. But my question is, what's going on in Lagos that was highlighted on February 18th with the election and the terrorism that happened in Lagos? And the extortion of area boys that has been going on for the 23, 24 years Bola Ahmed Tinubu has lorded it over Lagos. Is there any plan of bringing that under control? But in his head, everything in Lagos is beautiful. The problem in Nigeria is other parts of Nigeria. But the southwest is a beautiful corridor of sanity, no problems at all. Lagos is one of the biggest problem centers in Nigeria when it comes to crime and filth and irresponsibility of thugs, starting from the airport when you get off the plane to when you're in the streets driving. That needs to be cleaned up. That needs to be part of the focus of terrorism fighting and thuggery fighting in Nigeria. But let's listen to the National Security Advisor and the Chief of Army Staff.
Mr. President fired with that mandate and to realign our interventions to fit the expectations, not just of Nigerians, of course, with the mandate that Mr. President has given to us.
Is going to take a closer look at our misfortunes in the maritime domain, focusing particularly on the issues of oil theft. That he is not going to tolerate. Wherever the problem is coming from, it must be crushed as soon as possible. He's already mandated the security agencies to come up with a blueprint.
President Tinubu has mandated the security agencies to come up with a blueprint. What blueprint, for God's sake? President Bola Ahmed Tinubu needs to fire the entire heads of security in Nigeria. The mess in Nigeria today is because they either have not performed, which means they don't know what to do about it, or because they are directly tied to the terrorism and killings in Nigeria. Either way, it's not good. Why do you want to collaborate with the same people that oversaw this thing over the last 8 years? And you're telling them to come up with a blueprint that you're going to oversee and work with them to fix the problem. So in other words, you are rewarding failure. A person fails woefully for 8 years, and you come in to reward him for that failure. Nigerians, that's not good enough, and we need to make sure that our president is accountable in the decisions he's making, because this cannot be Buhari's 8 years or Jonathan's 8 years. Those people did not run a campaign against the obedience. In this last campaign, there were the obedience, and the obedience demand more.
Recognizing the significance of the dedication and sacrifices in safeguarding the nation, the president reportedly expresses his appreciation for the armed forces, intelligence agencies, and paramilitary organizations. Now,
all that is fine and dandy, making sure that the security people in the field, not the hierarchy, but the little ones in the field, are taken care of. All those are great sound bites. But those things were budgeted for over the last 8 years. The issue is not recognizing that the people doing the work need to be taken care of. The issue is, are you monitoring the money as it's spent to make sure that the money is not being embezzled, which is what it's been done the last 8 years. Folks, all I'm trying to do is say, Nigerians are tired of sound bites. We hear these things all the time. Listening to General Irabo and Babagana Mongono, the security advisor and the chief of army staff, come and have a press conference and reassure is nonsense. We don't have to go too far. During the elections, Mongono promised Nigerians that they are ready to defend democracy and that there will be no rigging and no cheating and no thuggery at the ballot boxes and the areas where the votes are taking place. Every one of those things did not only happen. Every one of those things happened with impunity, with Mongono's people and Irabo's people and the police and other security forces doing nothing about it. The question is, knowing the Tinubu we know and how decisive he can act, what's tying his hands? What promises did President Tinubu make to the El Rufais and other Cabal Fulanis in the north? Why wouldn't he fire these security chiefs and bring in his own people that we can hold him accountable for? President Tinubu, what did you promise the Malams? What did you promise the Cabal in the north that is tying your hands, that you're coming out and giving Nigerians soundbite after soundbite after soundbite, and doing nothing to drastically move the country in the right direction, starting with changing the security chiefs? Nigerians shouldn't be the only one asking that question. Every Nigerian supporter or adversary of this administration should be asking that question. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Fred Nwankwo again, coming to you from our studios in Chicago with another edition of Bold Talk on Island TV. And until next time, good night and God bless.